The descent. Sometimes the elevator doesn't take you where you want to go. It takes you where you belong. The hospital was quiet that night. Too quiet. Only the faint hum of fluorescent lights and the distant beeping of machines broke the silence. I pressed the elevator button, ready to head to the lobby, but when the doors slid open, the cab was already waiting. Empty. I stepped inside, pressed the button for the first floor, but the panel flickered. The numbers began to count down past the lobby. 3, 2, 1. And then something impossible appeared on the screen. B7. There wasn't a B7. The hospital only had 2 basement levels. The ride down felt endless. The lights above me dimmed, buzzing louder, and for a moment the cab seemed to grow colder, as if the air was being pulled out of it. Finally, the doors opened. The morgue. Rows of metal drawers stretched into the darkness, lining both walls like teeth in a jaw. My footsteps echoed as I moved inside, the air heavy with the sharp scent of disinfectant mixed with something rotten beneath it. That's when I heard it, a slow, metallic creak. One of the drawers slid open all by itself. Inside was a body, covered neatly by a white sheet. Something told me not to look, but my curiosity won. I leaned closer and pulled the sheet back just enough to see a tag tied around the toe. It had today's date and my name. The body twitched. Its chest rose as if it had just taken a breath. The sheet slipped away, and I was staring directly at myself, my own lifeless face. Its eyes snapped open. The corpse sat up, lips curling into a smile that matched my own, and in my exact voice it whispered, "You're already dead. You just don't know it yet." Before I could move, the other drawers rattled violently, metal screeching as if dozens of bodies inside were trying to force their way out. The lights flickered, and I bolted back into the elevator. The doors slammed shut. The panel glowed red. One word replaced all the numbers. Return. Part 2. The Return. What if every time you escaped the elevator, it only brought you back deeper? I told myself it was a nightmare, nothing more. But the next night, when I stepped into the elevator, the panel was blank, completely stripped of buttons. Only one word glowed faintly red. Return. My heart pounded as the doors slid shut. The ride felt longer this time, as if the elevator was sinking deep into the earth. The air grew colder, the buzzing louder. When the doors opened, I was back in the morgue. But it wasn't the same. The rows of drawers stretched farther, disappearing into pitch black. Every few seconds, a loud thump echoed, like fists pounding against the inside of metal. I forced myself to move forward. At the end of the room was another elevator, older, rusted, its doors welded together. The panel beside it wasn't numbers, but scratch marks, deep gouges etched into the metal, as if something, or someone, had been trapped inside, clawing to get out. Above it, a faded sign glowed. Final discharge. Before I could step closer, a crash rang out behind me. I spun around. The morgue drawers had burst open. Bodies crawled out one by one, their hospital gowns tattered, skin pale and stretched thin over bone. Their hollow eyes fixed on me as they began to shuffle forward, whispering in a chorus, "Get back in your drawer." I ran, sprinting toward the rusted elevator, but its doors wouldn't budge. The whispers grew louder, echoing in my head. Hands reached out, clawing at my arms, pulling me backward. The regular elevator behind me opened on its own. I threw myself inside, slamming against the back wall as the door shut. The panel glowed again. The word return pulsed brighter. And I knew this wasn't taking me out. It was only bringing me deeper. Part 3. The Final Discharge. Every morgue has one drawer waiting for you, and it always knows when you've arrived. The third night, there was no hesitation, no choice. The moment I stepped into the elevator, the doors closed, and the cab plunged downward, faster than ever before. The lights overhead strobed, the buzzing became a roar, and then silence. The doors opened, and this time, the morgue was different. Every drawer stood wide open, empty. The silence was unbearable. I stepped carefully, but the temperature was so cold my breath came out in thick clouds. In the center of the morgue, a single bed waited, restraints laid neatly across it. Above, a panel glowed red with two words, "Final discharge." I turned to run back into the elevator, but the doors were gone. Nothing remained but a wall of steel. A loud clang echoed, and suddenly the bed restraints snapped shut, pulling me down with impossible strength. No matter how hard I fought, I couldn't break free. From the shadows, the patients emerged, dozens of them. The same hollow-eyed corpses, each one growing louder the end.